Welcome back to the mat. This is a nice practice to ease you back in after the holiday weekend, after July 4th, and just some familiar movement to come back to since we haven't met in a month. So I'm really excited to be back with you in this new setting, this new virtual setting. So I made a little yoga studio here, and I'm excited to be with you. If you have a yoga block, you can grab it, and we're just gonna come down on our backs with a block, and you're gonna take it right behind the back of your head. And you can put it on the lowest setting. Can you go down here, Rogue? Over here. You can put it right behind your head on the lowest setting, and then just make sure the edge of the block is not in your neck. It's really supporting the back of your skull. And then you're just gonna rock your head, tuck your chin down, rock your head a little bit left and right. And if you have a ponytail in the way like me, you can kind of move it out of the way. And we can just get some of those muscles at the base of the skull to release a little bit. And while we do that, you can just start to take in some more intentional deep breaths. Some long exhales. And just letting the body sigh, letting the brain and the body transition away from work and into a little time for you to move and breathe and be with your body. And you take in another deep breath, fill up. Open your mouth, let your shoulders relax, let go. Two more like that. Big breath in. Open your mouth, let it all go. And last time, big breath in. Let it all go. And then you can start to breathe normally in and out through your nose if it's possible. And then let's take the block out from under the head, and you're going to put it underneath your hips on the lowest setting. So it's like a little platform for your pelvis to land on. You don't want it too high in the low back. The low back is free. There's empty space below it. And the pelvis is just really steady on that block. Put your hands on your hips so you feel nice and secure, and let's take the left leg up into the air. And we're just gonna bend and extend the leg and get a little bit of stretch, a little bit of gentle stretch in the back of this left leg. Yep. And the next time you kick the foot up, just pause the leg and roll the ankle out slower than you want to. Really see if you can articulate, if you can find all the little edges. And after 3 times, change directions and go the other way. Ooh. Good. Some of these I can feel all the way down in my hip. And then you can cross this ankle over top of your right knee for a gentle figure 4. And we'll just pause right here. If you want to rock your legs a little bit side to side, you can. Your pelvis can rock on the block a little bit. And you can just breathe and let things start to ease into a little bit of movement. Let's go for the other side. So you unhook your left foot, right leg goes up into the air, and you bend and extend it a few times, reaching your heel for the ceiling. Every time you extend, just really stretching out the back of this right leg, flushing out the back of the right leg, while the pelvis and the spine is strong and secure on this block, on the ground. And the next time you kick your foot up, you can pause and roll your ankle slower than you want to. Maybe your toes spread out. Maybe they point a little bit as it goes around. Change directions and go the other way. Our feet are our roots. And oftentimes I notice if my feet are bothering me, then There's other things above the feet, above the chain that are also bothering me. So if I spend some time with my feet, I usually feel a little better. Let's cross this ankle over top of your left knee. Let the right knee fall open to the side a little bit. You can rock or sway a little bit on your block. Get a nice little pressure massage at the back of the pelvis. Notice anything that you feel there. So if the low back's been bothering you, you might feel a little bit of information there where the block is. One more big breath here. Exhale and let it go. Unhook your right foot. Put it on the floor so that your feet are nice and parallel, toes facing forward. And let's lift up off the block and take the block away. Keep your hands on your hips, and we're just going to lower the hips and then pick them back up. And I want you to think about keeping your low back really long while we do this. So really using your glutes to lift, and we're not going to go any farther than when we hit this nice diagonal line from shoulders to knees. And sometimes it's helpful to put your fingertips on the front of your thighs so you can slide them down from your hips to the front of the legs. And that might help you find that alignment and also blocks you from going too far up and crunching in the low back. Another thing that helps my low back is glute strength. So the more I utilize my glutes and take the load off the low back, the happier my lumbar spine is. Let's do a couple more. Just get these glutes starting to work, starting to recruit, so that when we move in bigger ways, they are online and ready for us. All right, let's come all the way down to the mat. Pull your left knee in towards your chest, and you can wrap your fingers around your shin or your knee and send the right leg long. We don't have the block underneath us anymore. We're nice and flat on the floor. And if you feel any pinching in this left hip, just take the knee to the left a little bit and then hug it in so that it's got a little bit more space. Let's take in a big breath and a long exhale. Good. And then we'll just simply switch sides. So keep this left knee in, bring the right one in as well. Switch which knee you're holding onto and send the other leg out long. So now we have the right knee hugging in. And again, you can take it to the side a little bit if you need a little bit more space for that hip joint. Just taking a big breath. Long exhale. Good. Pull your left knee in towards your chest. So you have both knees now. You're going to rock a little bit side to side, massage the low back, get a nice little stretch through the back of the glutes. And then we're just going to roll all the way to the left side. So you can roll. It's okay if you come off your mat a little bit. I'm going to scooch back onto mine to make sure that you can see me. And then we're going to take the palms on top of each other. So palm to palm, stacked on top of each other. This right arm, or whichever one's on top, is just going to open like the cover of a book all the way to the other side. So your ribs turn open, and then you can close it back down. Of course, if you're in a small space or you don't have that much room, you can always goal post this arm that's moving around. It might feel a little tighter, but it consolidates the shape a little bit, gives you a little more room. Just a couple more, getting this rib space to turn a little bit so that, once again, the low back has a little bit more space. When the ribs move well, the low back's a little happier. Let's pause in this twist, taking a big breath. Let it all go, settle into it. Stay for a moment. And then we're just going to pick up the knees and go to the other side. Roll over to the other side, palm on top of palm, and then open the top arm like the cover of a book and turn through the ribs. Good, go nice and slow. Again, closing and opening and getting these ribs to rotate. The thoracic spine is the mid and upper back where all the ribs attach onto the spine. And it's really made to rotate. The farther up the spine we go, the more the vertebrae are made to rotate. So the mid back, the upper back, and especially if you think about your head, it's kind of on a swivel, right? So it can turn and look over your shoulder. So it's really made to rotate, made to do a lot of things. But the lumbar spine, the low back, is really made to stabilize. All right, let's hold open in this twist on this side. Big breath in. Let it all go, settle into it. Good. And then all you're gonna do is close the book and then come around onto all fours. So you can find yourself on your mat. It's a good time to reset if you need anything changed. And we're just gonna meet in all fours and find a nice cat-cow. So when you look forward, your belly drops, the rib cage drops a little bit. You feel the shoulder blades almost draw together on the back body. The back of the pelvis is opening where your sit bones are. And then you round and press into the mat. Dome in your upper back, spread between the shoulder blades, let your head relax, and then go back the other way. So we just go back and forth. And I want you to notice if it feels like the low back wants to take a lot of the extension when you're in the cow pose. So if you come into this cow pose and you drop your belly and your low back is like, ugh, then I want you to think about spreading that sensation up the spine and not letting it get caught there in the low back. You can round and push. Same thing, spreading sensation through the spine, not letting it get stuck anywhere. Couple more times through, just with your breath, in your own timing. Then we're just going to find a child's pose. So you can widen your knees, bring your big toes together, and sit back into your hips. Arms are overhead. Your forehead can come down onto a block or the mat. And we're just going to pause here, get that nice deep flexion in the hips, lengthen the spine. Big inhale, long exhale out. Good. All right, let's find a downward facing dog. So you can come forward into your hands, spread your fingers wide, lift your hips up into the air, and you can pedal your feet out here. So this might feel like a lot, this first down dog. You've got a lot of sensation stretching through the calves, the hamstrings. As you bend one knee at a time, sink the other heel towards the floor at a time. Ooh. Good. And then we're just gonna walk the feet towards the top of the mat. Of course, you can always lower your knees, come up tall kneeling, and then step forward. However you wanna be. We're in a forward fold at the top of the mat. You can have your blocks at the ready, and then hands find your kneecaps. You get a nice long spine, and then you drive your feet down and rise all the way up to stand. And let's start to move here a little bit. So arms go up overhead, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to blocks or the mat, right foot steps back. Lower your right knee down and arms go back up overhead for a low lunge. You can untuck your toes in the back. And I want you to think about pressing your back shin into the ground. You'll get more sensation here at the front of your right hip. Squeeze in the right glute a little bit and lift up and out as if you're tractioning your spine. You're making more space for that low back. Good. Hands can come on blocks or the mat. And we step back to down dog. Pick up your back knee, hips go up, and you step back. You can pedal your legs out again. And then we'll take the right leg up into the air. Big breath in. Exhale, step it forward. Lower your back knee down. Arms go up. Untuck the toes in the back. Press the back shin into the ground, squeeze in the left glute, get the opening in the front of the hip, and then think about your arms as if someone was taking hold of your hands and lifting you up and out of your pelvis. So you have this ability to traction your own spine here. Then hands come back to blocks.
Step the back foot forward. Catch opposite elbows for ragdoll. And fold. Let your head go. Good. Hands come up to your kneecaps, spine nice and long. You find this flat back. And then you use your glutes to stand up the rest of the way. Let's go again. Arms go up overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Hands to blocks through the mat. Left foot steps back. This time we're going to keep the toes tucked in the back. Arms go up. All the same things apply here that we did last time. You're going to take your right hand down behind your pelvis. The back of the hand comes to the back of the pelvis, and you pull some energy through the low belly back into that hand. So the pelvis might even move back a little bit. Then we're going to try to touch the ceiling with this top hand and lean to the right, opening up the muscles around the left hip. Still squeezing in this left glute and still feeling like we're getting lifted up and out of the body, out of the pelvis, out of the legs, creating more space. Good. This top hand is going to come down to your front knee. Now your ribs naturally start to turn to the right. You can stay right here, or you can reach your right arm back and just pause. Little sips of air. It's harder to breathe in a twist. Notice if your whole pelvis went with you. I want you to keep a connection between your hand and your knee in front of you. Good. This back arm goes up and over, and you plant your hands, and you go back to your downward facing dog. Pedal your legs out again. This is kind of home base. Find length in your spine, pushing through the hands. And then we can lift the left leg up, big breath in. On your exhale, you step it forward. Lower the back knee down, keep the toes tucked in the back. Arms go back up overhead, and we pause. Left hand comes down behind the pelvis. Back of the hand comes to the sacrum. And you reach up, 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 up through this right arm as if someone's taking your hand and lifting you up. And then lean to the left a bit. Up and over. Really stretching through this right hip, this right side body, gaining more real estate, filling up with breath. And then here's the twist. This top hand comes down to your front knee. Ribs rotate to the left. You can stay right here, or you can send this left arm back and flip the palm. Staying tall as if there's a cup of tea on top of your head. That cue always sort of bothers me. I'm like, I don't have a tea on my head, but it really helps. The visual helps, getting nice and tall. Thinking about that little espresso cup or cup of tea up there. Back arm rainbows over. Comes to the blocks or the front of the mat. Back foot steps forward and fold. Catch opposite elbows. Ragdoll. Bend through your knees generously so your chest comes down towards your thighs. Big breath in. Long breath out. Let's do another one. Big inhale. Long exhale, stretch it wide. Hands to kneecaps, long spine. All the way up to stand. Here we go. We're going to do a little bit more in our flow. So I'm going to turn towards you. You can stay facing the top of your mat. All you're going to do is take your hands to your hips so that you're nice and stable. You're going to find your left foot, and you're going to cross it behind your right foot. Yeah? Then you're going to keep your right hand on your hip. Left arm's going to sweep out to the side, up and over. And you think about your hips drifting to the left a bit. Low ribs are still hugging in, so if the right hand needs to move from the hip to the ribs to give you a little bit of support there, you can. Let's roll the wrists out on the top a bit. You might feel that pull all the way down into the shoulder or the ribs, the underarm. Good. And then we're just going to unwind, hands on hips, unhook the foot, rehook the right foot behind the left. Right arm sweeps out to the side this time, and you lean. Reach up and over. Remember, this hand can move off the hip to your low ribs. It Kind of helps you hug in and get some more space on the side body. Sending the right side body to the right side of your room and roll your wrist out. Woo! Still breathing here. I know it's tough. Good. And then let's come up, unhook the feet, and just bob your heels on the ground. If hands on hips feels good, you can leave them there, or you can just let them be loose. My favorite thing to do is buzz my lips. So feel free to make some noise in your space if you want to. Heels bob. We get this little bit of looseness in the body. This little somatic release, draining a little bit of lymph, helping you detox. Good. I'm going to face the top of my mat again. Arms go up. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down to your blocks or the mat. Right foot steps back. And we're just going to look at the back foot. So look down at your back foot, and you're going to sink your heel and then pick it back up. Sink the heel and pick it back up. So we're just going to get this nice stretch on the back leg. And then we're going to turn our attention to the front leg. So if you need to pop your blocks up tall, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to take that option today. You straighten your front leg any amount. Come high on the ball of the back foot. Think about lengthen your spine and pulling the left hip back. Remember, you do not have to lock this front leg out. The knee can be soft. And I just want you to breathe here in this nice little straddle pyramid situation. Big inhale. Long exhale. Good. We're going to come up to a high crescent lunge. So you bend through the front knee. Your arms sweep back to help you come all the way up. Arms go up. Find something to look at so that you can balance here. Good. And then we're just going to take in a big breath and swing your arms down. Let them go. Breathe. Take them up overhead. Swing. So stable legs, noodle arms. Arms go up. And swing it out. One more. Arms up. Swing it out. Good. You're going to spin your back heel down and turn to the right side of your mat. Hands come to your hips, and you're just going to glide a little bit side to side. Getting a little stretch on your inner thighs. Hips sit way back. Your chest comes forward. It's almost like your hips are really pressing to the wall behind you or the space behind you. Good. Lots of inner thigh sensation here. Good. And then we're going to come right back to a little twist. So right hand comes down on the ground, right knee comes down on the ground, and you turn towards the top of the mat. Left arm reaches up. So now here we are in this twist. Remember, you could always put a block under your right hand if it feels a little congested. This gives you some more space. Pause. Maybe you roll that wrist out on the top like we've been doing. Good. And then this gets a little bit more stretchy. We take this top arm all the way overhead and you sit your hips back towards the back of your mat. You can pick up your front toes. I'm going to move this block so you can see. You can pick up your front toes and stretch through the left side of your low back, through the left outer hip. Woo. Good. Remember, you can kind of rock in and out of this if you need to, or you can just pause and hold if it feels good. Find what feels good. I think that's what Yoga with Adrienne always says. Find what feels good. Good. Re-step into your left foot. Put your blocks back at the top of your mat and step into your down dog. Lower your knees. Child's pose. Sit back into your hips, untucking your toes. Hands can stack up underneath your forehead, or you can keep arms out long. Whatever feels right for you to rest a little bit. Nice steady breaths in and out. Good, and since we've done all of that work to open the left side of the low back, let's reach the hands over to the left and get a little bit more stretch on the right side of the low back. So I want you to think about sitting your right hip back while you reach through your hands off the left side of your mat, and then breathe into the right side ribs. Good. And then we're going to bring these hands back to center. You can find your down dog. Lift your hips up. Walk your feet forward. Good. Hands to kneecaps, long spine. Drive your feet down, rise to stand, and we're going to go for the other side. Arms reach up, big breath in. Forward fold, hinge at your hips. Hands find your blocks. Left foot goes back. Nice wide runner's lunge here, and then we're going to lift and lower the back heel, stretching through the back leg a bit. Getting a little tracking practice for your ankle and your big toe to move together. The ball of the foot, all in line. So if you tend to rock to one side of your foot, your pinky toe side of your foot, or if you often find yourself picking up your big toe, it's a good time to kind of anchor it into the ground. Good. And then come high on that back heel. Pop your blocks up if you want with me, tall blocks, and then straighten the front leg any amount. Remember, I don't care if you use a piece of furniture, a windowsill, a chair, whatever you got near you to give you some support so you can stretch through this leg without forcing it is awesome. Just use your space. Big breath in. Long breath out. One more, breathe. Let it all go. And then rebend the front leg. Find your lunge again. Your arms sweep back and up to help you rise. Legs are strong, so think about your feet heavy in cement. And then taking a big breath and swing your noodle arms down. Just let them go. Swing it out. Arms go up. Big breath in. Swing it out. Just let something go. It's okay. Arms go up. And swing it out. Good. Let's turn to the left side of the mat for some side lunges. Gliding left and right, sitting back into the hip creases. So I can literally take my fingers and push them into the hip creases to send the hips back. That way I can really get a nice stretch on the inner thighs without taxing the knees. Good, let's turn back towards the top of the mat. Left hand lands on the ground and so does the left knee. Remember, option to put a block under your left hand if you want it. Rotate to the right. This bottom shoulder is not hiked up into your ear. We're lifting up and out of it. And you can pause in this twist and breathe a little bit. I grew up in Colorado and I just moved back. And I've been here for almost a month now. And I'm still trying to get used to how little oxygen there is in the air. So I find myself needing to really focus on my breath in my practice. It's not like down in Florida where we've got so much oxygen in the air. Let's take this arm all the way overhead. Your ribs stay turned to the right. You reach overhead and you push through the front foot. You can pick up the toes. And you really stretch into this nice side bend with a twist, and you get this big opening through the right side of your low back. Good, re-step into this front foot. Move your blocks back to the top of the mat. Plant your hands, down dog, step it back. Pedal your legs out. Lower your knees. Big toes can come together. You can sit back into your hips for a child's pose. Remember, you can take hands right underneath your forehead, stack them up, elbows are bent, so you have a little pillow. You get to rest your chest, your arms, your shoulders, your hips. Everything can drop heavy and it gives you space to breathe. Think about the breath expanding all directions. Like the rib cage is an umbrella opening. Not just the front ribs flaring, not just the side bodies, but also the back expanding. And we also practice this skill of lengthening the exhales, which is an incredible resource, an incredible tool to soothe the nervous system. If you're ever feeling pretty stressed, it's about taking deep breaths, of course. But what is most important when you're starting to feel that panicky feeling is a long, long, long exhale. Good. Now, let's take the hands off the right side of the mat. Stretching, pressing back into your left hip. And seeing if you can push the breath into the left side body. Very good. Then you can walk your hands back, pause in your child's pose. I'm going to check our time. Take in a deep breath. Big exhale, let it go. Good. And we've got good time for another flow. So let's come up to our downward facing dog. Lift your hips high, maybe even walk your toes in a little bit. And let's send the left leg up into the air. While your foot's in the air, your leg's up there, you can't see it, I want you to roll your ankle out again, just like we did at the beginning of class. It's a little tricky. Woo! Good. Change directions. Little brain game. And then you're going to step it all the way forward. Woo! Good. Arms sweep back and up to help you rise. High crescent lunge. Good. Instead of our noodle arms here, we're going to goal post. So you pull your elbows down on your exhale. Reach up and breathe. Exhale, pull down. Feel your shoulder blades on your back body. Reach up and breathe. Exhale, pull down. Reach up and breathe. Pause. Twist your spine to the left a little bit so you rotate. Arms go wide. So we were in this position in our low lunge earlier. Now it's grown a little bit. Feet are heavy. Good. Back arm comes overhead. It hits this right hand swings down, and you turn into a warrior two. So the back heel spins down, front knee's bent, back leg is straight, and we pause. Flip your palms open. Good, and then we reverse our warrior. Drop the back hand down, lift the front hand up. Forearm to your thigh, right arm reaches all the way overhead. Reach, 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 reach. Reverse. Forearm to your thigh. These are all familiar shapes for us. We've done these things before. We're gonna turn to our side lunges, but we're gonna add some arms. So you can come up, turn your left toes to the side of the mat, side lunge, lateral lunge to the right, and you can take your right hand behind you, your left hand in front. And then we're just gonna go side to side, but let these noodle arms swing around a little bit. Just let some stress swing out of the body. Feel that pendulum feeling, the momentum of the arms. Good, turn back towards the front of the mat. Right hand plants, right knee lands. Rotate to the left, left arm reaches up. Pick up the front toes as you send the hips back. Here's that big stretch. Woo! Good. Nice. Rebend the front knee. Take the arm back up in the air and swing the left leg back to the back of the mat. Foot's gonna land, and then you can reach this left arm all the way overhead. Now we get a much more open feeling of this stretch. Good. You're gonna come to all fours to tabletop. So simple, you bring the left knee in, hands down underneath your shoulders, and then we're gonna sweep the right arm open to the right. Big breath in, dive it down and through. Underneath your left shoulder, twisting to the left. Open it back up and breathe, pushing into the grounded hand, and dive it all the way down and through. Open back up. This is the last one. You get to pause and hold here. Even weight through your knees. If you want a little bit more sensation, your knees can shuffle to the right. Just a tiny bit. Breathe, breathe, breathe. It's harder in this twist, but don't forget to breathe. Good. Press your left hand down. Come on up. We're gonna step into a plank pose. Then you can lower your knees so we can lower all the way down to the ground. Take your hands underneath your forehead for that pillow shape again. And just pause on your belly. You can swish your hips side to side. And just let the low back relax. Maybe you wiggle your legs a little bit. Just notice. There's nothing wrong with wiggling a little bit. I think we lose this ability to play, to kind of jiggle and wiggle in our bodies. I've been trying to put it back into my practice to remind my brain that it's a human right to move my body, to wiggle however I want. And same for you. All right, while we're here, we're going to get a little quad stretch on both sides. So you can bend one side and reach back and catch the foot. Forehead can come back down on your other hand. And I want you to think heel to your glute. And then I want you to think about the energy of trying to pick your low belly up off of the earth, even though it's not going to go anywhere. And that'll give you more sensation in this big quad stretch. When the front of the quads and the hips are tight, it pulls the pelvis forward, leaving less space for the low back. So we want to stretch the front of the legs as well. Let's release this side and switch. Whichever side you are on is fine. We're just switching to the other side. If the knees drift far apart, you can snug them back together. Think heel to the glute. And then try to pick the low belly up off of the ground, even though it's not going to go anywhere. You'll get a lot more sensation in the front of that left quad. Lots of stretch there. Breathing. Trying not to hold tension in places that aren't involved right now. It's so easy to just kind of grip elsewhere. Good. Let's slowly release this foot. Wobble your legs, sway your hips, relax all that effort. Let the glutes relax. And then hands go underneath your shoulders and you press yourself back to a child's pose. Stretching through the back of the hips. Just pausing here for a moment before we do the other side. So using these moments is just like a little bit of stillness, a little bit of breathing space. Remember that umbrella breath. It opens all directions, not just the front and the sides, but also the back. Big 360 breath. And when you're ready, you build up a down dog. Let's lift the right leg up into the air. You can't see your foot up in the air, but you roll your ankle out. See if you can articulate without being able to see it. Change directions, go the other way. Ooh, brain game. And then on your next exhale, you step it all the way forward. Good. Arms sweep back and up to help you rise. Here's our goalpost arms. Exhale, pull down. Reach up and breathe. Exhale, pull down. Reach up and breathe. Exhale, pull down. Reach up. Here's the standing twist. So your ribs turn to the right a little bit. Arms open up any amount. Remember, this doesn't have to be fully open. It could be kind of at a diagonal. It's okay. You don't have to crank on your spine. Good. Right arm comes overhead. So it's the back arm comes overhead. It hits this left hand, bing, and the left hand goes down. And to the back, here's your warrior two. Flip your palms open towards the ceiling so your shoulders relax down your back. And let's reverse the warrior. Good. Come forward. Forearm to your thigh. Back arm reaches all the way over. Reverse. Still breathing. Forearm to your thigh. Good. Here's our side lunges. So you can come up, turn your right toes, side lunge to the left. Left hand goes behind your back, right hand kind of comes across in the front. And then we just let these arms alternate and swing as you side lunge side to side. Let them be loose. They know what they want to do. They want to do this. Let it all go. Good. And then turn back towards the top of the mat. Left hand comes down, left knee comes down. Small twist to the right. Here's this big stretch. You straighten the front leg, pick up your front toes, pull the hips back and reach your top arm all the way overhead. Remember, this knee does not have to lock out straight, could be soft. Arm goes back up in the air. You rebend your front knee so that you have leverage to come into your modified side plank. Right foot goes to the back of the mat, but it lands. Reach it all the way overhead. Big stretch here. Hug the low belly back, the low ribs back. Right hand comes down, tabletop. Bring your right knee in. Pause, get yourself situated. And then sweep the left arm open to the left, twist, and then dive it down underneath your right shoulder so that the left shoulder on the left side of the head comes down to the mat. Open back up. Breathe. Exhale, dive. Again, guiding the twist into the mid and upper back. Rotating and diving down. This time we pause. Maybe the knees shuffle to the left just a little bit. Good. We're going to make our way to our bellies again. So you come up, you find your plank pose, you lower your knees, and you lower all the way to the ground. Hands go right underneath your head, stacking on top of one another so you have a nice pillow for your forehead and space to breathe, and then you get to sway your hips again. You get to jiggle your legs again. Just let it all go. Long breaths. Maybe we find some stillness. Just be still. Let the body soften. Good. And then you can look forward and take your elbows right underneath your shoulders. If they're too far back, then the elbow's really bent. So I want your elbow just in front of your shoulder. Palms face the ground. And you try to grab the ground and pull yourself forward even though you're not going to move. Look forward a little bit, shoulders away from your ears.
And you get all this nice opening in the mid and upper back. So now the upper back is trying to extend a little bit. If you feel any crunching in the low back, I want you to think about anchoring your pelvis, the front of the pelvis, into the floor a little bit. Still breathing here. This is a sphinx pose, so we look like those cats, those sphinx carving statues outside of Egypt. Good. Elbows can flare out to the sides so that you can drop back down. Hands go underneath your shoulders. You press yourself up, and then you just flip over, and you come onto your back. We haven't been here since the beginning of class, so we pause and soak it in. Notice how the low back feels. Notice that what has changed, what has shifted in the body, in the breath, in your energy. It's pretty amazing that we can kind of create this our own heat within us, that we can quite literally create energy. With your feet flat on the floor, take your left ankle and cross it over your right knee. We were in this shape with our hips on the block, but now we're flat on the floor. You can stay right here if this feels like enough. You can pick up your right foot and pull the shape of the legs towards you without using your hands. It's a good option. Or you can add the hands in by threading the left hand in between the legs through that keyhole and the right hand around the outside, catching behind the right hamstring, and then rocking a little bit here if you want. Using the breath to soothe the body. Those long exhales to calm you. To let the body meet the stretch, let the body meet the pose without forcing. And then let's release this leg, put the foot back on the floor, unwind the left leg, and switch sides. Right ankle crosses over. You can stay right here, or you can pick up the left foot without using the hands and hug the shape of the legs towards you without pulling. And then maybe you add those hands in. So right hand is going to thread through the legs, through that keyhole. Left hand goes around the outside. And you can hug this shape towards you a little bit. If the tailbone picks up, if the hips start to curl and round and lift off the floor, I want you to think about guiding them back towards the ground. And then you can rock side to side just a little bit. Doesn't take much to give you a little bit of sensation. A little bit of easing in and off of this stretch. And remember how important the breath is. These big exhales. Good. Let's release this leg and put the foot on the floor. Unhook. So both feet are nice and flat. And then you're just going to take your left leg up and shake it out. Give it a good shake. Hi, Miko. You're right in front of the camera. Come here. Lay down, buddy. Go lay down. Good. And then you can put that left foot down. Pause in the stillness after you gave that leg quite a shake. And then lift your right leg up and give it a shake. So we did noodle arms. Now we're doing a little bit of noodle leg. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And then put that foot on the floor. Now, you can widen your feet a little bit and let your knees rest together in the middle. They just kind of lean onto one another. It feels really nice
across the sacrum and the back of the hips, the low back. If your low back's really, talking to you this week, and that's why you spent some time with this class, then this might be a good option to stay here. If you want to bring your feet together and open your knees wide for a butterfly shape, you can. You can also add some blocks underneath your knees on the sides so that they have some support. And if neither of those feel good, you can always send your legs straight and long in front of you, and you can just rest with legs long. Arms can be wherever they want to be, hands on the body or out to the sides with palms facing up. What feels right to you today? And as you rest here, I just want you to think of a few things that you're grateful for right here at the first week of July. Right in the middle of the summer. And as that list starts to build in your mind, remember that there's nothing too small. You can add anything to this list that gives you the feeling of gratitude, people, places, things, experiences. And as that list grows in your mind, just see if there's a way to feel the phrase "thank you" echo through your body. A full body thank you. Thank you. You can take in a deeper inhale, fill up. Open your mouth, let it all go, sigh it all out. 2 more like that. Big breath in. And let it all go. Last time. Big breath in. And let it all go. You can start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, to squeeze and stretch a little bit. Maybe you step your feet back to the mat if legs went long. And then you can just roll to one side. Whichever side feels right to you is good. But just give yourself a moment on your side body to pause. To feel this in-between moment. This time that you spent with your body. This movement, this breath, this mindfulness. And what's coming next in your Monday. And just let yourself be in the in-between for one moment longer before we sit up. And when you're ready, you can start to gently press yourself up to a seat. And take your time, sit nice and tall through your spine. Again, just checking in on the body, rolling the shoulders, leaning the head, just noticing what things feel like now. Any new awareness, new sensations that you might have. And then let's stack the hands over the heart space, one on top of the other. Take in a big inhale. Open your mouth and let it all go. Thank you for joining me on the mat today, for practicing play, for practicing deeper inhales and exhales, space in the body, and hopefully a little more space for your low back and a little less stress. And may you go in peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. That's all I got for you today, my friends. This is